And we're live. Welcome to the LGBTQ Real Estate Podcast, where we connect LGBTQ homebuyers, sellers, and real estate pros since 2007. My name is Jeff Berger. I'm the host of this channel. And with us today is a near and dear friend of mine, Paul Fontaine, who I know for over 10 years. Paul, we've been going to conferences together, educational real estate conferences, I should clarify, to be our best in this industry. And Paul, it's great to see you on the show. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and good to see you as always.
Yeah, agreed. So, hey, everyone that's watching this, our format is 15 minutes. We know you're busy, but the purpose of this podcast is to help you if you're moving to the Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater area to know a little bit more about it and more as an LGBTQ person moving there. Okay, because it's important that you work with someone comfortable. And we invited Paul to share, a little bit about the area, a little bit about how he works with his clients. So let's get into it. Paul, share with us a little bit about yourself, both personally and professionally, whatever you prefer.
Sure. I'm a gay real estate agent. I've been an agent for 20 years now. Most of it was in Center City in Philadelphia. So I was there for 17 years at Keller Williams in Center City. And then I decided I wanted a little bit more warmer weather and moved down to St. Petersburg 3 years ago, where I continue to be a real estate agent and also doing a bit of coaching to different agents throughout the country also. So I'm enjoying the warm weather. My partner and I, or my fiance and I, to be exact, and our two dogs moved down, and happy to be here. In terms of my business, like I said, I've been selling for 20 years. Most of that in Philadelphia, and right now I'm in St. Pete, Tampa, and Clearwater area doing real estate here. I'm also an author. I wrote a book, How to Be a Successful Real Estate Agent, on Amazon. So you want to check out that also. But I'm proud of that milestone to help share some of my knowledge and experience with other agents.
That's awesome. And it's interesting because so many people are moving to Florida now. And just 3 years ago, you did yourself as a realtor. So you're familiar personally with all the steps. Relocation could be a little complicated for people. And, you personally know it recent as 3 years ago. So I'm sure you have like right in your mind all the do's, the don'ts, and, how you can make it easy.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good experience to go through to relocate, and I created a YouTube channel, youtube.com at Paul Fontaine Realtor, and pretty much I specialize in LGBT clients relocating to the Tampa Bay area. So it's pretty much going after the same people who I am. So it works out perfectly.
I love that. Well, there you go, folks. You can subscribe to Paul's YouTube channel.
Yes,
It's
please.
youtube.com
At
forward
Paul
slash
Fontaine
at
Realtor.
Paul
At
Fontaine Realtor.
Yep, the at symbol. Yep.
Yeah. And Paul, I'm going to drop that into the YouTube video. So
Appreciate
anyone
it.
that is here, they can easily click and subscribe to your channel.
Super. Thank you.
So, yeah, a pleasure. A pleasure. Thanks for sharing that. So I know over the years you have many LGBTQ clients. They're often your favorite clients, I know from our conversations. What is it about working with the LGBTQ community that you enjoy so much?
I mean, the camaraderie. I find myself having more fun with
Yeah,
fellow LGBT clients. Just can be a little bit more relaxed and enjoy ourselves and be ourselves. I think it's important to create a safe environment. I came from I'm originally from Rhode Island, up in New England, which is a very accepting area. And then I was in Philadelphia in Center City in the downtown area for quite a while, also a very accepting area for LGBTQ plus individuals. And so I sometimes can forget that there's a whole world out there, and certainly moving to Florida, it's a different environment. And I think it's important to have a safe environment so people can feel comfortable discussing anything that's related to their lives, which can include, being part of the community and not feeling as though they have to, hide something when they're looking at a house and want their partner or husband or wife to come, come with them or give them feedback.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that. It's a question we ask everyone on our podcast, and everyone answers it, a little differently, but a little similarly at the same time, because it is that safe zone, that comfortability, and, let's face it, not every real estate professional is going to feel the way we do towards the LGBTQ community.
Sure.
So, that's what this is all about, helping the community um, in the way they prefer to, buy and sell homes in comfort, the way it should
Yep.
be,
Yep. And
without
having
any question. Yeah. So our next question is, we know you love working with the LGBT community. This whole LGBTQ thing, I'm like always, it's a tongue twister for me sometimes. I grew up, it was gay and lesbian, then it was LGBT, it was GLBT, now the Q, the plus, I'm still tongue tied. I got to admit it, but
it's all good.
we can all laugh at ourselves sometimes.
Sure.
So I know you love working with the LGBTQ community. Okay. What is it about you that the LGBTQ community enjoys working with? I mean, I know you're not the MC at your local drag bingo,
Right.
but I know at the same time you're a lot of fun. What is
Sure.
it about, going out shopping for homes with the LGBTQ community that people like about you?
Uh, I would like to think, I'm honest, I'm straightforward. I am understanding a lot of being a realtor, as we say. A lot of it can be therapy sessions. A lot of times, people are going through major life experiences. They're selling a house, which is stressful, or they're getting a divorce, or they're getting married, or they're expanding their family, or they're getting relocated for a new job. All those are milestones in someone's life and can add some stress. So I'm a pretty chill guy. Uh, I'm assertive and aggressive when I need to be, which is usually when I'm negotiating on behalf of my clients. But in terms of the rest of me, I'm a pretty laid back, chill guy, and I've learned over 20 years that things will get figured out in real estate. There's always going to be hiccups and hurdles and obstacles that occurred during the transaction or before the transaction or after the transaction, to be honest. Um, and I just know from experience that it all pretty much gets figured out. You may lose that mind, that mindset during the problems of a transaction, but I have the beauty of having 20 years of figuring things out, and so I think the honesty and just ability to calm people down during the trying times of buying and selling is something that people appreciate, and yeah, hopefully also having a little bit of fun at the same time.
Great, great. Yeah, like you said, there are many different life changes that bring a lot of emotions into, whether it's buying or selling. The life changes just in general. Well said. So I know you love living in your community. We've spoken. I live in Jupiter, Florida, and you're in Tampa now, the St. Pete area, for example. What is it that you love about your community? Because I know you do love it. You're very happy with your move there. Like, for example, if you want to share for someone that's watching this podcast, tell them a little bit about, like, I know there's like great arts in the
Sure.
St. Pete, Tampa area. There's great restaurants. There's
Yeah.
great wine bars, coffee shops. You
Mhm.
know, what is it that you love about the area?
Yeah, like we said earlier, I chose St. Pete. I didn't grow up here. I wasn't forced to move here. Out of all the places in the country, my partner and I decided, this is where we wanted to relocate. So that really shows you some strength behind my decisions and also what I'm going to share with you today. But yeah, number one will always be weather. It's just beautiful. Every day is around 80 and sunny. We got a little bit tired of the kind of cold and dreary and rainy and cloudy weather up north, and it's nice to go back and visit. But you'd be surprised that every day you just look out the window and the sun comes in. It just makes you happier, more energetic, get you out there and to enjoy the sun. And I'm big into health and fitness, so I appreciate the opportunities to always be outside to play tennis or now pickleball, or there's also lots of gay leagues here. So I was part of the gay league for beach volleyball. So we were out there every week playing beach volleyball. So weather will always be one of the main drivers. Uh, I love the downtown area. It's super walkable in St. Pete. There's a main street called Central Avenue. If you haven't been here, um, it's around 80 blocks long, but there's 30 blocks of it right in downtown that is completely walkable and has stores and shops and restaurants. You had mentioned museums. There are over 50 museums in St. Pete. The Salvador
I love
Dali
the
Museum.
Dolly Museum. Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah. The Salvador Dali Museum is the most visited museum in Florida. It's really, the architecture of the building is amazing. So just going to see the building is beautiful. And then the
Agreed.
inside obviously has some great works. The Museum of Fine Arts and Holocaust Museum and lots of other ones just right in the downtown area is easy access. So those are some of the things that I love about St. Pete, and also obviously the people.
Awesome. Awesome. And yeah, you said it so well, the downtown area. I've been to St. Pete a handful of times, and the new pier that they built, the new pier right off the downtown is
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yep. One of my
Um,
favorites. And the
yeah, it's
beaches. I
just,
didn't even mention the beaches. Obviously the
yeah,
beaches.
right. Those two. Yeah.
St. Pete is a peninsula, so everything is 15 minutes away from a beach. So it's perfect.
Yeah. And there's so many beautiful towns, like, for example, our next question is, tell us about the housing stock. I know there's many different towns and little beach towns, and like one after another, from like Dunedin, and there's just so many cute spots. Like, for example, I call them cute, because like they're just so comfortable, cozy, small town feeling,
Yeah.
beachy.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about like the communities. Like, you serve all of the Tampa St. Pete area, right? And Clearwater.
Yep. Yeah. There's,
And
there's, go ahead.
oh, so tell us a little bit about the housing stock. Like for example, of course, there's beachfront homes. Everyone wants to move to the beach, and then you find out like the ticket price, and you're like, well, I don't have to live on the beach, but
Right.
there are
Exactly.
beachfront homes. There's
Sure.
condos. There's beautiful single family homes. A little bit of everything, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a change from, like I said, when I was in Center City in Philadelphia, which is pretty much brick row homes, and then some condos. That was the extent of it. So single family homes are a big part of the environment here, and then both high rise and low rise. Right now, they're building numerous high rise condo buildings. There's two specifically that are being built that are kind of sandwiching my office building right in downtown. And in front of our office
Mhm.
building is going to be the tallest condo building in the Gulf Coast, which will be 47 stories. And then on the other side of our building is another one that's going to be around 40-ish stories. So they're definitely building lots of high-rise condos, but there's also plenty of the typical, traditional low-rise Florida condos. I actually own one of the condos that's in a 3-story condo building, so they have those. What they also have in Florida that I wasn't used to at all is obviously 55 plus communities. So lots of those, since Florida is a place where a lot of people come to retire also. So a lot of 55 plus communities, and those prices tend to be quite a bit less than the average condos, because the audience is limited to only people 55 plus. And so the prices are quite a bit lower. So I keep saying I can't wait till I'm 55 so I can buy cheaper condos. Um, and,
Yeah.
and then
I'm
to be honest,
53.
well,
I'm 53, so maybe I'll call you for a deal soon.
you got it, two more years, and you can buy a condo for 200 less than usual condos.
Wow. Wow. Go figure, right?
And then Florida, as always, has mobile homes and manufactured homes are definitely throughout the county and the state. Also, again, something I wasn't used to handling at all in Philadelphia, but there's plenty of those, and those also can be quite inexpensive and good for your starter homes or retirement.
Great. Well, thanks for sharing that. The purpose of this podcast is really to help people understand, because, I speak to so many people in real estate all around the country, and so many people are moving to Florida and they don't, sometimes they don't know where to move. There's the East Coast, there's the West Coast, there's Central Florida. There's so many choices. So many people are choosing Tampa St. Pete now.
Yeah.
It's a really hot area. So, kudos for you for getting there 3 years ago and, setting up shop and,
Yep.
and all that. And that's really great. It's a beautiful area also. And another question, for this podcast that's very centric to this podcast. So LGBTQ individuals, families, what should they know about Tampa St. Pete? I mean, there are fair housing laws. For someone watching this podcast, fair housing law says that all homes are equal to everyone. So we don't talk anymore about the gayborhood because that would suggest that gay people should live there. It's like saying to someone that speaks Spanish, we're going to bring you to the Latin area, or someone that's African American, we're going to bring you to this neighborhood. That's called redlining, and that's not a fair housing. That's against fair housing. So
Yep.
anyone who thinks, hey, I just want to move to the gayborhood, I'm going to call a gay realtor. It's not the way it works. We show you everywhere, and then you make your decision.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that question, what should LGBTQ families who are considering moving to Florida, Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater area, know about life as being LGBTQ? There's a lot of resources, right?
Sure. Yeah. Again, I keep repeating the same thing. Obviously, I looked into that when I was deciding where to move. Also, and my partner and I needed to make sure that that was, I'm a spreadsheet kind of guy. Make sure that was part of our spreadsheet. I was looking at the pros and cons of all the different cities. If anyone's familiar with the HRC, Human Rights Campaign, the largest LGBT political organization, they come out each year with different rankings of both businesses and cities. And St. Pete has ranked and gotten the grade of 100 out of 100 in their municipality ranking in terms of around 10 different categories. And so that was one of the key drivers for our decision to move to St. Pete, that an independent organization said it was 100 out of 100 in terms of LGBT. And that relates to a lot of things, politics and rights and laws and things of that nature. The mayor of Tampa is an openly lesbian mayor, Jane Castor, and so it's nice to have someone at a high level in our area. The mayor of St. Pete currently marches in all the pride parades. He flies the gay flag, the rainbow flag at City Hall, and is a big advocate for us also. I know a lot of people, hear the word Florida and LGBT and have certain feelings about it. And it's a big state. It's one of the biggest states there are, and there's certainly parts that are more LGBT friendly, and certainly the Tampa Bay area is one of them, and why we chose it. And I'm happy to say, that it's a welcoming environment. My partner and I hold hands everywhere we go, and what I've been told, based on numbers, St. Pete Pride Parade is the largest in the state and attracts around 500,000 people, which is coming up in June.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Well, thanks for sharing all that. And I've heard St. Pete Pride is so awesome, and I hope one day to get there. And if I
Cool.
do, I'll look you up. And
You're welcome.
yeah, yeah, thank you. Thank you. So, our last question, we're getting to the end of time. And I know you like to play beach volleyball, but when you're not working, I know you work very hard, you're a very accomplished realtor. What do you like to do?
Um, yeah, I mean, pretty much going outside is one of the key things. Biking and getting out to the beach. We try to do that as much as possible. When you live in a beach area, sometimes you forget how easy it is to get there,
Yeah,
and people think
yeah.
you're there every day. But trying to get to the beach is our goal, at least once a week. Um, Besides that, yeah, you probably hear my dogs barking. We have two dogs that we
Yes,
love. That's our family. That's our kids.
great,
And
great.
we spend a lot of time with them. There are some dog beaches that we bring them to also. So either walking our dogs or bringing them, to take a swim is a big part of our lives. And then, moving to a new city. Oh, there you go. Moving to a new
There's
city.
Angela.
There you
Pet
go.
lovers too.
Those are our kids. Yeah, moving to a
Great.
new city when you don't know anyone. We certainly spend a lot of time just getting out there and meeting other people, and part of that is joining the sports leagues. My partner Eric and I joined the bowling league. They had a gay bowling league every Sunday, and so we did that also. And the entire place was full, 20 lanes of LGBT players, and so we had a fun time doing that also.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Paul, it was great to have you on the show. We always
Likewise.
end with 2 thumbs up. We're looking up in a positive way. Great.
Yep. Sounds good.
Hey, thank you again. Okay. And
My
if
pleasure.
you find yourself in South Florida, I'm in Jupiter, feel welcome to reach out. And I'll do the same if I'm coming up by you.
Sounds great. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
A pleasure. Great to see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.